Oop leaves and her kids are raised by a wolf pack. I am not the Oop. Oop is you, mod 1. Oop leaves and her kids are raised by a wolf pack. Originally posted to r. Am I the asshole? Trigger warning. Child abandonment. Less than. Original post recovered with Reddit September 22, 2021. I, 28F. Have 3 kids with my ex. 30M. We were never married, but we dated while I was in college. My senior year, I got pregnant and had twins. Both boys. He moved me in with him and we were raising our kids together. 14 months after giving birth to the boys, I had a girl. Immediately after I had postpartum depression. I wasn't doing well and I decided to go back home to my parents to try to clear my head. Once home, I saw my old bedroom, my old things, and was kind of reminded of what I always wanted to do. I always wanted to take a gap year to travel, but I had gotten a scholarship to my first choice school and it seemed silly to pass it up. I decided then, this is what I needed to get in the right mental state. I called BD and told him I'm going to Europe for a couple of months. He was incensed and tried to talk me out of it. I explained this is what I needed to go back to being myself and be a better parent and partner. So I went. He called me the first couple of months and kept asking if I was coming back. Eventually he stopped calling. About 6 months in, my parents told me that he had filed to get full custody of the kids. I was mad he didn't tell me before doing it, but I thought I'd at least take full advantage and really see the world and get it out of my system. I traveled for a little over 2 years and visited every continent. When I was done, I really wanted to see my kids, but I felt guilty for not being present in their lives and I didn't want to face my ex. One of the friends I made in my travels offered me a gig as an English teacher in a private school in Thailand. I took the opportunity and spent the next 3 years doing that. This year, I returned stateside and stayed with my parents. They showed me pictures of the kids and told me, my ex let them see the kids a couple of times. I got in touch with him, telling him I was ready to be involved in their lives and he flat out refused. I threatened to sue for custody and he just replied good luck with that and sent my pictures of me partying in Europe. They are not flattering. My parents want to see their grandkids more, but they tell me it's all my fault for not being able to see them. AITA for trying to see them? Verdict. Post removed before verdict rendered. Top comment from someone WHO knows the Oop and her ex. You, Rand0 Muser 21. Reddit. It's my time to shine. Had to make a brand new account to not to reveal anything personal. I know exactly who this is. I know the kids and the dad. Those kids were raised by a wolf pack. When this pathetic waste of oxygen abandoned her kids, basically anyone and everyone who had a passing relation to the dad stepped up. His mom moved in for the first year to help with the babies. Neighbors, friends and relatives all donated or bought kids stuff for them. Clothes, diapers, toys, anything he needed. One of his friends manages a restaurant and he brought them unused food almost every night. I work at a bank, so I had nothing useful to contribute other than money and time. One of our buddies runs an MMA gym, and he has a kids class that starts after school. So he take them in after school until their dad gets off work. Whenever the kids need a babysitter, 2 or 3 rowdy men show up ready to be horsies or punching bags for the boys and tea party. Guests for the little girl. One of our other friends is a lawyer. He helped him gaining custody and advised him through the process. OP's parents are rich and they always offer money to help. On the advice of our lawyer friend, he always refuses. That way they can't use that in any future custody battle. He didn't even let them introduce themselves as their grandparents, so they can't claim a relationship. Their dad is doing well now. Those kids don't want for anything. Every Sunday night, He hosts us to watch football and hang out with the kids. His daughter delights in serving everyone wheat juice. They're so much better off without this witch. This is a repost sub IAM, not the oop. 7 years of abandonment, then wanting to come back? That's worse than getting a call at 2 a.m. from a hospital in Mexico that your daughter was just born. But you don't know the woman. I'm happy to start my evening off with this. Really happy. I was really hoping that they were actually raised by wolves loudly crying. I thought this was going to be one of those AITAs where it gradually becomes obvious that this is the plot of a Disney movie. Like AITA for abandoning my bear dad for a girl I just met? Or AITA I killed my dad and ran away from home on my uncle's advice, but my childhood friend reconnected with me and says I should come home because he's hitting my moms. I'm very disappointed that there were no actual wolves in this story. Love this. What a complete pause for thinking they can leave 3 young children and come back seamlessly into their lives. But that checks out for a narcissist. Hope she never tries to get in their life ever again. I can understand needing a break. But a couple of months in Europe is already pretty excessive when you're leaving 3 kids. But to then hear at 6 months that her ex is going for custody and her response is to YOLO it into a 5 or 6 year adventure. There cannot be any possible way she rationally expected to be back in the kids' lives. Especially if she contests it now and has it on record that she was spending much of it partying in an unflattering way. If the second oop is legit, at least the kids don't seem to have missed out on much. 0 tenths for no actual wolves. Although it does mean that neither will end up as Remus in the future. Oop is a raging narcissist. Imagine abandoning 3 kids under the age of 2, taking off for 5 years, and thinking you can just waltz back into their lives. Her ex sounds like an absolute rock star with an amazing support system. Those are some lucky kids. Both for having such an amazing family group, and for not having to know their biological mother. There's only 3 things at all remarkable about this very boring story. 1. It's the mother who left. Statistically, it's far more common for fathers to walk out on the family. 2. People stepped up to help raise the children. 3. Oop was so lacking in self-awareness as to post this on AITA. Most people who leave their kids for years know they're the assholes. I did not know what wolfpack meant before I read this. Kinda sad he wouldn't let the kids have a relationship with their grandparents though. If the oop goes for custody, she'll eventually get visitation after reunification therapy. She can work her way up to 50-50, especially since the kids are still so young. But that'll require a lot of work she probably isn't willing to do. I doubt she'll take all the necessary steps. Haha, I'ma take a few years off then come back with threats and lies. What a hag. Something seems sus. Her other post doesn't necessarily add up. So, this person popped out 3 kids then vanished for 7 years. And had the nerve to want to be back in the kids' lives? In 2 words, hell no. I would like to see an updated post of this woman crying that her kids want nothing to do with her. I want her to have a moment where she realized how audacious she truly is to even call them her kids. Misleading title, I wanted literal wolves. It's astonishing how many bad mothers claim postpartum depression is the reason they were shitty parents. And this is an illustration of why we need to stop telling young women to marry early and pop out kids and why abortion needs to remain widely available. There's no defending OP's behavior. Please don't get me wrong, but it doesn't sound like she ever really wanted kids and then she has 3. There's plenty of people who should not ever have kids and we need to stop pressuring them to do that. Basically anyone and everyone who had a passing relation to the dad stepped up. Those kids were raised by a community. Fix that.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.